www.gocaps.com. You heard me, gocaps.com. Caps Van and Truck Rental celebrates its 50th anniversary. They've been serving customers in Texas and nationwide. Thanks to you, our loyal customers, and our dedicated staff for the many years of success. Your support through the years has helped us reach this incredible milestone. Caps has rented vans, personal, school, church, and other various organizations. Caps Van and Truck Rental. It's your van and truck rental company for commercial use. Our heavy-duty trucks are made to handle a variety of commercial industries. Heavy-duty pickup trucks, including 3/4 and 1-ton four-wheel drive pickups. Heavy-duty pickups include 3/4 and 1-ton four-wheel drive crew cab pickups, equipped for towing and much more. We also offer a select inventory of crew vans. Check them out today. GoCaps.com. GoCaps.com. 50 years and counting. That's Caps Van and Truck Rental. You know, that's kind of cool because, you know, when you need a truck or a van or going on a road trip and you need a van, I está con Caps. Luego, vámonos chinga. And I know a couple of bands músicos that use Caps. So good for them and good for Caps. You can load up all your equipment. Y vámonos. Caps. 50 years. 50 years. Damn. Good for you guys, man. That is Caps Truck and Rental. www.gocaps.com. GoCapps.com. GoCaps.com. Caps Truck and Rental. Welcome aboard, guys. What up, what up, what up? I'm AC Cruz. You know who you are. Welcome to the podcast. Been a while. We are back from a hiatus. We are back from vacay. And what a way to come back with the king of the brown sound, Little Joe Hernandez. And it's going to be fun, I guarantee you that, because it's Little Joe like you've never heard him before. Forget about it. We cover some various topics. I will tell you, though, I was so excited in having him here, I forgot to ask several things. I mean, like, for example, he's won 4 Grammys, 8 nominations, I believe, and as well as I forgot to ask him about how it felt working with the Tres Amigos, which is Roberto Pulido and Ruben Ramos. And that's in mind. And then this is a cool fact because when I was in Corpus, I was producing the South Texas Music Awards. I was the program director at Club 90.3, and the show was at the American Bank Center. And I get a phone call at the last minute. It's Ivan. You hear us talk about Ivan. That's Little Joe's son, who is also a manager and takes care of bookings and stuff. Anyway, so Ivan calls me up. He says, hey, I hear you got this big lineup, big award show. You got all these artists, top of the line, Jimmy Gonzalez, Jay Perez, Emilio Navarra, Ramon Ayala, Jennifer Pena, oh, God, let's see who else, DJ Kane. It was huge. And he asked me, can you squeeze me in? Squeeze my dad in. And I told Ivan, I said, dude, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. He said, come on, AC. I said, I tell you what, just so you know, he's only got 6 minutes. 6 minutes, and then we got to keep going. We'll squeeze him in, and I didn't tell my stage guy until the day of. We squeezed him in. But anyway, we were running on schedule. As a matter of fact, I made a bet with Suzette Quintanilla. Suzette Quintanilla made a bet with me about time. And sometimes they run long, these awards, and I believe it was the first time that I was producing it. So anyway, long story longer, because we squeezed in Little Joe, we ran over, and I had to pay Suzette Quintanilla, I think it was a steak or something, I don't know. But anyway, when you got the king of the brown sound, Little Joe, La Familia, performing on stage free, because all the bands performed free for us. It was great. I mean, what are you going to do? Cut him off? Hell no. You let him rock and roll, man. Just let him do his thing, you know? So, needless to say, I think we went over 10 minutes, I believe. So, anyway, but it was freaking awesome, man. Little Joe, the king of the brown sound. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, usually I say this at the end, but listen, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. So, without further ado, on with the podcast.
Hi, this is Abby Chavarria. I am AC Cruz's big sister. I taught him everything he knows. Seriously, I want to present to you the next guest. If you're a fan of Tejano music, then you'll know this man's music. For 60 plus years, this icon has not only entertained, but changed Tejano music as we know it. He was the first to add strings to musical arrangements that still stand the test of time. He has been an advocate for migrant workers' rights, as well as civil and justice rights. He has performed for presidents and other dignitaries, as well as performed with icons like Willie Nelson. So many accomplishments, too numerous to mention. It is my pleasure to introduce the next guest on the AC Cruz podcast, the true king of Tejano, the king of the brown sound, José Maria Deleon Hernandez, Little Joe.
Little Joe Hernandez, how you been, brother?
I've been well, thank God, and thank the universe and all, all the matter that exists in the cosmos. And thank you.
No, I want to thank you for making time to talk to me.
But you know, you had requested this chat, and I've really been super busy, man.
I know you have. I asked Ivan 2 years ago before this pandemic started, man. He said, I'll get back with you. And I said, that's cool. Let me know. And then you had COVID, man. And that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, you know what? What a lesson to learn. The worst thing that happened for me about COVID was that I gave it to my daughter, who's my boss, and my niece who works with my daughter, and my wife, all four of us at the same time. And that really hurt me that I was responsible for that. But we all pulled through.
Yes.
I not completely myself. I think like I'm 10%. My breathing is not what it was before. It's not 100%. But I survived it, and gracias a Dios, here I am, man.
Yeah, gracias a Dios, man. And again, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. I tell my guests, it's not an interview. It's just me and you shooting the shit, reminiscing. By the way, was the weekend at Harris, was that fun or what?
Yeah. We've been doing 5 or 6 years since we started doing the Mother's Day weekend at the Harris in Laughlin. It's a really cool place. Harris is an old casino, but it has a beach right next to the river, and lots of activities for a family.
Sure.
So, you know, they come for the weekend, and we're there. When COVID hit, we had to postpone, of course.
Yeah.
And then the year went by, and then they couldn't open. So 2 years went by, 2.5 years before we could get back. And what's so amazing and humbling for me, AC, is that the people that had bought their tickets, like I said, 3 weeks in advance, the room gets sold out for both shows. Well, they held on to the tickets instead of getting their money back, refunds. They just kept them, you know, and I was so impressed, amazed, and humbled by that fact. What happened, though, is that when I finally did get back to the casino, the only empty seats that were there were the people that died from COVID. And those were my friends. Bittersweet, you know, that the people were so kind and, you know, to hold on to the tickets.
Sure.
But to see those empty seats, and then I said, what happened? You didn't sell those seats? I said, no, those seats were sold. But the families or friends that knew these people didn't want to get a refund. They wanted to keep the seat open in memory of those that died from COVID. But, you know,
yeah,
that's the way the world is.
Listen, by the way, I want to thank Johnny Ramirez, who passed along the message to you to get a hold of me. I want to thank you for that, man. But he said, I told Joe to give you a call. Has he? Not yet. I'm sure he will.
Yes, he did give me your number and all that. I promised him that I would. I just didn't say when.
No. You did, though.
But, you know, things get done con tiempo.
Yes. I'm going to tell you right now, you're a man of your word, because you told me last week, I'll call you on Wednesday to let you know about later on in the week. I said, cool. And then you called me up. Comadre, man, shit.
I wanted to do this, man, because I've known you longer than you believe I know you.
We'll get to that in a minute.
know you and your sister, because I need your dad. So.
Very well. We'll get to that in a minute, Joe. Hold on. don't get all ahead of me now.
We got time.
If you don't mind, listen, man. This episode is going to run in June, but we're recording it during the month of May. And the reason I wanted it done in the month of May is because 2 years ago, your book, which is what I have right here, watcha.
Órale.
No llore, chingon. I loved it. Anyway, that's why. And by the way, thank you for the autographed copy, because you said something in that book. You said, I want to thank everybody that helped me without even knowing it, or something like that.
Well, you know, I've said it, and I continue to say that I stepped on a lot of shoulders to achieve what I have. People have been very kind to me, very generous in many ways. And it is an incredible satisfaction to know that some of my fan base has been there for me over half a century. I've been on the road for 61, 62 years. Of course, a lot of those families in the beginning, when I was a kid, young couples would bring their kids, and those kids grow up and bring their kids. So it's like a fourth generation thing. And still today, you know, I mean, my preference for performing are festivals where the family group comes out, and you see the great grandfathers with the great grandkids. And I know they're great because I have 8 great grandkids, and I love them. And so I know that these children, you know, the children I knew and held in my arms 50 years ago, man. Some may not be around now, but it's an incredible feeling to have that connection, man. It's a blessing.
Joe, I want to tell you, when I read your book, and now here's the deal. I don't read too often. I did read the biography of Wolfman Jack, which was a good book, and then biography on Sinatra. So I picked up this book. I said, I dug this. My favorite chapter was chapter 15. Let me tell you why. You recorded it saying, I'm done picking cotton. Free to leave the fields, I hear his call from afar. It must be coming from beyond the northern star. Who's this Preta Linda you speak of? Way above las nubes, you say. It must be my lucky day. Raza, I'm ready for big pay.
Ooh.
You were 13 when you picked up the music.
Yeah, my cousins started the band, David Coronado and the Latinaires. And there were 3 other kids, myself, 2 other kids.
Yeah.
Jacinto Moreno, Tony Matamoros, myself, and David. And we always, we try to get together or call each other, because Jacinto's birthday is in August, and Tony, who I nicknamed Foreman, is in September. Mine's in October. So we try to call each other. And of course, Foreman is back on the road with me. But it was my cousin who started rehearsing us. And just day before yesterday, Foreman went with me to Victoria to a funeral, sad to say. And we were reminiscing about how we got started when we were kids. And we were remembering how we'd hide from David. We didn't want to rehearse. We wanted to play, but not rehearse. Well, how are you going to learn to play if you don't rehearse?
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on now. You're 13 years old. Come on now.
Yeah. But, you know, a couple of years went by, and we were able to. David was really advanced musically. He was about 3 years older than us. And he played guitar, drums, and bass and saxophone, all around musician, a young man. It was in 1955 when we really started playing for pay, finally, 2 years, 24 months.
Yeah.
But it really, right then and there, when I got paid the first time, and that was a lot of money back then, especially for playing, you know, $5. For me to earn $5 back then, I had to pick 500 pounds at a penny a pound of cotton. Cotton now, pounds of cotton. We're not talking kilos or pounds of blah, 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 blah.
What's that there?
The pounds were my dad's trade.
Yes, but it was. We can talk about that as well. I get you not, Joe. We're gonna talk about that. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about it right now. But watch out. When I told John Ramirez, we were discussing about when I first got in radio. I was doing a remote in Rosenberg, and I said, "Hey, can we do this interview real quick to go on the air?" You said, "Okay, sure," because you were playing that night in Rosenberg at the fairgrounds. Anyway, I said, "Okay, we're gonna use this payphone." He said, "Wait, what do you mean? Come on, my bus. We can use my cell phone. You call the radio station," and we did it. I said, "We're gonna do one more." Okay, wait. And then you said, "Here, you want to hit?" I said, "You know what? I don't smoke weed. I don't do hard liquor. Now I do drink beer." I said, "You know what? I'm good." You said, "You sure?" And then a split second went by. I said, "You know what? This is my chance to smoke a joint with the king of the brown sound, Little Joe." What the hell?
Well, let me tell you about smoking weed. I write songs very easy when I smoke weed. And I haven't in 20 years, 21 years. What a shameful thing for me to say. But I haven't written much since. But I would smoke a joint, write a song, and when my senses came back, I forget the song. So I said, wait a minute.
What the hell, right?
I better record this stuff.
So I tell people that is my one and only time that I can actually brag about smoking weed with Little Joe.
Well, it was a good time.
It was a great time. So anyway, I'm glad I didn't smoke anymore because I was like, oh shit, what happened to me? Anyway, Johnny says to me, "Did you read in the book about the chickens ate the weed, your dad's weed?" And
that's a true story. Everything in the book is true. I fact checked it myself because I wanted to make sure that we didn't hype anything because people finds out. Besides, why not tell the truth? This truth is better than fiction, man, in some cases. But yeah, my mom always wanted to raise chickens and had a chicken coop. And next to it, my dad had a little garden. I don't know, maybe 15, 20 plants. And he worked for Santa Fe Railroad. When he'd come home in the evenings, take a bucket of water and water the plants and smoke a joint, looking at them, watching them grow. I remember them. They were already sprouting the buds. They were getting to be like 1.5 feet tall, and you could see the little buds already coming out. How come I know so much about weed, by the way?
That's all right, man.
I remember when my mom used to tell me, catch that one, and I'd catch a chicken, give it to her, and she'd get it by the neck and ring it. Over the chicken, but this snap the head off and then make a cross con el beak de la gallina.
Andale.
Cross on the ground. And I thought, how the hell is that going to help that chicken that I had?
Ya está muerto.
Yeah, that body be jumping all over the place. So anyway, these chickens got out, man, and the chickens somehow got out of the coop, man. They had ate my dad's weed, man. I had a great time with those plants, man. Se comieron todas las plantas.
So your dad cooked those chickens, right?
De volada. Boiled chicken, all kinds of chicken, man.
I told Johnny, I said, oye, el jefe de Little Joe was ahead of his time. He invented edibles, man.
Forget Colonel Sanders. Yeah, and I always thought, was it easier to catch the chickens after they ate the weed because they just kind of lay around? I don't have to chase them.
That's funny shit, man. Wait, Johnny, I'm sorry, Joe. The reason I'm in Johnny, he was here on the podcast recently. He told me several stories as well. And he told me about when you guys saw each other in the airport briefly. And it was only for like minutes. You were catching the flight. He was catching the flight. And that was that.
It's funny. I saw Johnny at crossing paths in Los Angeles at the airport. And then again in Fresno. Hey, Johnny, where you going, man? Where you been? Yeah. Well, how you doing? I'm doing good, but where you going? I'm going here. Where you going? Where were you? I was there. Got to get on the flights.
Well, good for you guys, man. Good for you. Okay, Joe, let's go ahead and talk about the beginning, if you don't mind. When you started in the beginning, picking cotton, what really surprised me was San Luis Potosí.
Yeah, that's where my dad came from, San Luis Potosí. The books won 5 awards. I wrote it with the hopes that the reader would be inspired by it. And that was the first award. most inspirational nonfiction. And this is from a club, the world's largest book club, which is the Latino International Book Club, which receives books from 23 different countries. And there's 214 judges that read the book for the awards. And the first award was most inspirational. And I was, of course, elated that it won that award. And then it continued to win awards. And the last awarded one was in a category that did not exist in the book club. It's called the Best Family History. I guess I want to believe, and possibly so, because that category wasn't there. And my book won Best Family History. And that's the highest award you can get, the Golden Award. So now that category exists. So I've been super blessed. But I do want to thank everyone that has bought the book and read it and bought it for others, because I get calls of different walks of life and educators, policemen, law enforcement, and politicians, and all kinds of people. And the elder folks always tell me, Joe, you wrote my story. That's my family. Because from the beginning, I knew that connection would be there. The story I was telling about me out in the fields, I knew there were millions, literally, of people that came up the way I did. I just knew that if they were to read the book, they would connect with it. And that's what's happening. But I also wanted the young generation to know and understand and appreciate that their parents, their great-grandparents like mine, had to go through a lot of hardships, a lot of obstacles, and they had to endure racism, segregation, and oppression, really, which unfortunately still exists today.
Yeah.
But the young generation needs to understand that they are in a place in time in their lives where opportunities are there for them, and they should make the best of them and take them, especially in education, because it's a fact that if you are born of color, brown, black, anything other than white, and you're poor, uneducated, that's 3 strikes to start with. And that's me. That's where I come from. That's why I understand and I know what I'm saying. But the opportunities that are available were fought and won by great-grandparents, our fathers before us, to make that possible for us. So we need to encourage the young people to take advantage of those opportunities. And the fact is that rich people are born with opportunities to waste. Poor people are born without opportunities. Therefore, we have to create our own. And we all have a talent. AC, you know your talent, you're displaying it.
Thank you, sir.
We all have a talent that we need to improve and work on, but we need, I'm sure you got it for your family, we need encouragement, we need support, we need direction. Cuando estamos chavalos,
When you were at that age, you had no plan B. You go to music and that was it.
Yeah, well, all those consejos that I heard from my dad and mom, they're so real and valuable. Now I understand, the way I was brought up by my dad and in a big family such as ours. One thing he insisted that we always do is share. You walk into a room, say with an apple, and there's 3 of us, 3 others there, and you don't want to share, he would take that apple away, cut it up in 4 pieces, and give you the smallest piece for holding out. So, whoa, walk in the room, next time you cut. And then I learned from my mom, el que reparte y reparte, se queda con la mayor parte. So when I walk in the room, I'll cut up the apple. But those are things that I learned along the way, and
sure,
that's life. So the book has won 5 awards, and I am so grateful. And I hope that, again, that the reader gets inspired by it and take advantage of their opportunities, because sooner than later, our life is over and done with. AC, for me, it wasn't this morning and it won't be this evening. It's right now, the moment. We have to live for the moment while we're breathing it's when it's happening. I get up from this chair, I may have a heart attack, we don't know.
Yeah.
But for now, you and I, that's real, that's life.
There you go. I will tell you something real quick, and I love this when I read this. Dear little Joe, this is just a quick belated note to wish you a happy 70th birthday. I hope you enjoy your celebrating this special occasion with family and friends. Your story represents an important thread in the fabric of our nation and reflects music, power to feed our spirit, give us hope, and carry us forward. As you reflect on decades of entertaining and working to empower your community, I hope you take pride in all your accomplishments. I wish you all the best for your happiness and good health in the years ahead. Sincerely, Barack Obama.
That's flattering, especially coming from President Obama. I am totally grateful for those kind words. I don't know that if I deserve them or not, but I certainly accept them because I've dedicated as much time through all my adult life in campaigning for politicians, for different candidates. Ultimamente here recently, I'm real close with Beto. What happens, and it ties up some of my time, which I really appreciate doing this, is I do videos for the candidates, and they give me the liberty to write my own. I just need their backgrounds. I just did one for Joe Jaworski, who's running for Attorney General, and they sent me his bio about what he did in 2008 and for the hurricane, and what he did when he stood up to the University of Austin and I at his camp. Do you mind? I don't want to insult anyone. Let me show my ignorance. Do you mind if I use my own words? No, go ahead. So, because I've learned, and you know this as well, I see, people don't much care or even remember what happened in 2008, 2020, People, if you want their vote, you got to tell them what it is that you're going to do for them. I want to vote because what are you doing for me? That's how you get the vote. In turn, some people appreciate, some don't, but we have to, as la raza que somos, we have to get, if not involved, at least become aware of what's happening around us. It starts in our communities,
yes,
in our homes, our families, our communities, our towns, our states, our country. Cuando tenemos la oportunidad de avanzar a nuestra raza, lo debemos de hacer porque tus jefecitos like mine, they had to struggle, and we can now do something about that through the power of the vote. So I encourage all people to vote.
Absolutely. But Joe, you just mentioned about being a minority. Barack Obama, he's the first Black president, and yet he congratulates you, wishing you a happy birthday. I mean, come on, you gotta love that, man.
That's big.
Yeah,
very. I've got some dear friends in politics. They're working on trying to get me on the 4th of July to Mexico City because the ambassador to Mexico, United States ambassador, is a dear friend of mine, Ken Salazar, who was Senator Salazar from Denver, Colorado, who later worked with the Obama administration. Yeah. Now he is the ambassador to Mexico. And he requested that for the 4th of July, I come perform there. And the holdup, and we don't know exactly what's going to turn out, is they're trying to get me there. The flight's military. They want to fly me military, which I really appreciate. I don't know if I care to go to Mexico any other way, but that's very flattering. I don't know where Ken is in San Antonio with my dear friend Mayor Ron from San Antonio, and I get a phone call. Hey, little Joe, and he starts singing, Yo no nací pa pobre, me gusta todo lo bueno, y tú tan alto. I said, whoa! It was Ken Salazar. He wanted to say hello and to say, I'm going to get you to Mexico. So I congratulated him, of course. So those things for me are just an incredible blessing that I've earned through the peoples that have, as I said, shouldered my efforts. Let me step on their shoulders. Eso le debo a la gente, you know. So, y estoy bien agradecido to you, AC. Friendships that I've created, all the travels I've done, Japan, all of Europe, parts of Mexico, all over the United States, that has really enriched my life. And I am really agradecido. Thank you.
You bet, man. Well, you know what? I'm glad that Barack Obama found the time to congratulate you on your birthday. 70 years old. Que loco, mano.
Loco? I like that word.
Oh, yeah. Joe, if you don't mind me asking, man, how did you know at the time the music was going to hit? Like, for example, when you did Las Nubes, it was the right music at the time of the, you want to say, 70s, I guess? And then Mi Nena, Borrachera, 80s, 90s? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that because I don't know what the hell I did. No, actually, AC, I've been recording all these years, all these albums, and each time it's a new experience. And like, for example, Las Nubes in the album Para la Gente, there was something happening with me and around me, the times, you know, there was a certain energy in my personal life, things going on that even unknowingly I was expressing through music, anger, happiness, everything, the emotion, my emotions were captured in the recording. The arrangements, that's what I wanted. I used the guys that arranged for me, but I would give them the skeletons of what I call skeletons of the arrangements, like the intros and the strings playing the halftime in the middle. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't have the terminology, but I sat down with the guy and I told him to play on the piano like a bolero time. And he said, oh, halftime. Sure, halftime.
Sure, whatever you say.
I knew that. But that's how, through the years, some albums are mellow, some like Para la Gente was really pushing because there was a lot of things happening in my life. And, you know, the Chicano movement, I was involved with Chicanos por la Causa, the Brown Berets, Raza Unida, the
Cesar Chavez, no?
Yes, very much farm workers, man. So all of that to explain how that album came about, you know. If you take the album of Prieta Linda, for example, it's a different feel to it because I was feeling differently during that time. Now that I'm more mellow, I record an album, I'll put you to sleep.
Hold on, before we go there, what about Mi Nena?
My uncle, my dad's brother, whose nickname was La Araña, my father's nickname was La Cotorra, his brother was La Araña. I heard him singing that song, and I don't know if he wrote it because I've never found it anywhere else. And of course, he died, and I didn't get that information so that I could publish it under my publishing company. But I've searched, and I could never find the lyrics or the melody anywhere else. But that was from my uncle, La Araña. And that's the kind of song that I like, that have that push.
I'm going to the song that I love the most that you did. I'm still sure you do it. And you did it with my dad. I love that when you say, Échale Chavarría.
La vieja jacalera se mete donde quiera. Luego con sus chismes no se fija, los encuera. That was your dad's song, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Oh, yes, man. That was his hit.
I'll be
La vieja
damned.
jacalera, yeah.
I know that you guys backed him up, the Latineers backed him up on Buscate Amor.
Yeah. But yeah, your dad wrote that song, and another one, no matter what the title, But locally, I remember it was played on the radio station a lot.
But the one that you did that I still love is that song. It goes, ¿Qué culpa tengo de andar tomando? Si así tomando te conocí.
Yep. Yeah, that's during that time when that was actually happening, you know. People ask me about music, and I try to explain it or describe what music is. And for me, really, it's magic. You know, you can take a 1-year-old baby, 10-month-old baby, and they hear music, they start bouncing around, they move around. Or a 90-year person, the music moves them. It's the only art form that I know of that does that to humanity.
Yeah.
Sculptures and painters and poetry and literature, all the beautiful arts in the world, but music is the only one that reaches the soul like that.
What about Redneck Mexican Boy?
Yeah, I still use that a lot for an opener.
Who wrote that song, Joe?
I did. Me and a friend of mine, and I'll tell you a little secret. If you'll notice on the credits, it says Hernandez Comac Villa. That melody is actually from Beto Villa, Corre, Corre, Trenecito. But the lyrics I wrote along with my friend Comac. It's had a big impact on La Raza.
This is the impact that it had on me, because when I play it at KYC in Houston, it's a great song, and played Villarreal down in McAllen. When I moved down to McAllen in 1990, I said, I'll be goddamn. That's the Villarreal McAllen, man.
Yeah, and you know, I changed it, busted up my button, and the Bullet Gillis played the Harris Casino here in Laughlin, you know, wherever I happen to be, and people really get off to that.
Sure.
So I'm just waiting for the time when I have to say, play it in hell, right?
In hell.
I'll play it here in hell. Se vale.
Así es. Oye, Joe, real quick, tell me about your spices, man.
Oh, yeah. Seasoning. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that stuff works on eggs, potatoes, meat, beans, anywhere. It's just amazing. You must have tried it. So while we were on break, Ivan and I were discussing it. I just signed a book and a picture for the people that produce it. We were getting ready to launch to market. COVID happened. It just hasn't been able to get traction because the stores can't find the material, the products that they need.
Yeah.
And they're not ready. It's not a good time to bring in a good product the way things are now. But everything's set, the labels, everything. And we have a distribution company, a big distribution company out of San Antonio. So it'll be in the H-E-B stores and other food stores, but the timing has just not worked. But that's Ivan's creation, man.
Now, for future references, when I go to the store to look for Little Joe seasoning?
Well, for now, you might find it in some little stores. I know a lot of restaurants, friends of Ivan, you know, they order it and they use it at the restaurants.
I told Ivan 2 years ago, I said, hey, save me some product. We give it away on the podcast. What the hell, man? Why not? You know?
Well, it had to be registered and you have to get the barcode. It's like a song, you know, you have to put it together and get the publishing and all that stuff together. But it's ready to go. We're just waiting for things, the timing to get better. But you will find it in the stores. Meanwhile, some people like the book. The book you can get at Amazon or from our website.
Yes.
But you can order the seasoning from our website. You know, I hadn't even thought about that. Get the Little Joe website and order Chingos of seasoning.
There you go. There you go. Oh, Joe, another thing. You were here in Gilbert's recording studio. You working on some material. Can we look forward to a new album coming out?
I produced one for my brothers, Rocky and Gilbert, but that was to bring them back because we've done some shows with him and very successful, I'm happy to say. Tom, my guitarist and producer, band leader, just yesterday we were discussing what kind of album do I want to do next. I need a label because I've been using my own, but things have changed so much, you know, that you need now to get a Grammy nomination. So we're considering who to talk to about doing the next album. I did a country song with mariachi, just total mariachi, but it's a country song that I wrote, and it worked out beautiful, man. It's on the new album. I'll have to get it to you. It's called Hernandez Brothers. So I'm considering to do something a little different, or maybe a lot different. Some of the country songs that I've written, done with mariachi, just like it's a ranchera, you know.
Why not? Why not?
It works, man, and it works.
I know it does. Let me tell you why I know it works. I saw you on YouTube at Mi Tierra with Billy from ZZ Top, and you guys were there jamming with the mariachi singing, and I said, "You're not con quién?"
You know, Billy Gibbons has been my friend for many years, and he knows a lot about La Raza and our music, man. He's Chicano, you know, for years. And he was part of an interview that we started for a documentary, and we did it there. And I was drinking his tequila. He got a label. And I heard his interview, man, and me hizo llorar. He knew so damn much about me, man, that, you know, I said, when and how did he get this? But he's been, you know, tiene corazón de raza, man.
I'm going to tell you right now, not only Billy Gibbons, but Willie Nelson.
Yeah. His sister just passed away, and she was a lovely lady, my dear friend, Bobby. You know, I'm not a very good friend because I have not reached out to him. And, you know, he's up in age, and we all begin to have some kind of, you know, slow down period. It happens. Willie helped me so much. He's a humorous guy and an incredible personality, warm, giving, caring kind of guy. I never heard him speak bad, ill of anyone. When I first approached him about him doing Spanish, and I had the track, I had recorded it in Houston at Gillis Recording Studio. And I told him, I have the track already, Willie. And it's a song, don't have a lot of R's. So you don't have to roll a lot of R's. Oh, you're talking about rolling? Well, you can roll all you want on that end. He laughed and said, I tell you what, Joe, I'll do the English, you do the Spanish, because you do Spanish much better than I. And we were in his bus at the time. He saw the disappointment in my face. I couldn't hide it like a little kid. Like, oh. God, Willie. You see a little twinkle in his eye, you know. And he looked at me and said, well, we'll see. And you know what? We recorded a whole album in Spanish. He sang, I love Willie, man.
I gotta tell you what, man. You guys. Stop.
He did an incredible job.
Yes,
a whole album, man. We did a whole album in his studio, and I was impressed how many people would come by, you know, actors, singers, music stars, and while we were recording, and we lost track of time. You know, there's a liquor store near his studio, and I'm sure you know who Rip Torn. Well, yep, he's died. Rip Torn was from Belton.
Yeah,
Rip Torn was in many movies, man. He kept coming by, bien camarada de Willie, because he's from Belton. He'd bring us a bottle, you know, tequila, and we were there locked away for 3 weeks, or whatever, 2.5 weeks, or whatever. And then one day he walks in with a big gallon. The tequila, a big bottle, and said, damn, Rip, what happened? He says, you suckers drink all the other bottles, man. This is all that's left. But Willie did an incredible job. And then the IRS happened, man.
Yeah.
And they came and confiscated everything. He had hundreds of masters, recording masters.
Sure.
They took that. When they finally did come back, they lost our album and and it was finished. We were just waiting to mix it. So we lost that. And when he came back, one of the times after the IRS, he had been in Hawaii. He came back. We were going to perform for Ann Richards, her birthday, Governor Ann Richards. Me dio lástima because he had lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But his humor was always there. And he said, Joe, we can do the album better. We can get back to it. I said, yeah, I will. Let me know when and where. I'll bring the band to wherever you're at. I don't know if you ever saw the Inquirer. They had him on the front page, the cover. Willie Nelson staying with his compadre, Little Joe. And Little Joe is worried about Willie keeping knives and guns away from him.
No, hombre, chinga.
That was in the Inquirer.
Yeah.
So he said, well, no, I got a better idea. Since I'm living with you, we'll just rehearse at your house. I said, Willie, if you were in my house and the article said I was keeping weapons and drugs away from you, I said, the first thing I would do is I'd roll you a jumbo. And then he says, maybe I should come sleep.
There you go.
Oh, man. You know what? There's so much that I didn't tell about in the book.
For good reason, I bet.
But I wanted the book to be about my family. Little Joe, there's not, gracias a Dios, people know me for my awards, my musical presentations and all that. But I wanted the people to know about my family because I'm proud, really proud. And the fact that when you know who you are, man, and I know who I am, gracias a Dios, de donde viene la semilla, de donde viene la sin semilla too.
Sin semilla.
But it keeps me grounded, knowing who I am. I'm not confused. And I find that in a lot of people. They're brought up in a certain way. They're denied their heritage, their culture, who they really are. They get out in the world, and they're confused. And as I said, my dad made sure I knew who I was. A little gangster.
Hey, Joe, in the beginning, you said to me, I've known you way before you even think that you know me.
Yeah, because of your dad. Your family have been, and I'm proud of you, man. Even more so knowing that you had a stroke and you're kicking it in the ass hard.
Gracias a Dios.
No, and that's what we all should do, I believe. Just like Ivy got out of the bed from the stroke and, back to what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you're doing something that's super important, man. Keeping a positive attitude.
You got to.
Well, see, people need to understand that. I know a lot of people that give up. They would have had a stroke and that's it. They give up.
Yeah.
You can't. I've had lots of things in my life that could have caused me to give up. But then again, if I give up, there ain't no cotton fields for me to pick no more.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, when you said you know me since I was a kid, how did you get to know my dad back in the day?
It's been so long, I don't remember because he was, I don't know where I saw him enough to record with him.
Well, I tell you what, though, when Johnny was here, he did tell me, he says, when your dad would come by with his orquesta to Temple, and he would ask us, you want to go on stage and sing? That you guys would sing with him.
Well, but I knew your dad. I mean, of course.
José Maria Deleon Orquesta.
Yeah, and I remember him. He gave me I think it was a yellow label on the record, La Vieja Calera. And we just became friends. And I don't know how he got me to record, to use my band, but he did. And I'm glad. But that's how close we got. And then, of course, time went on and I've kind of not disappeared. My circle has grown larger and larger, so I'm not around in certain places like I used to. Gracias a Dios, it's all good, man.
Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us.
Al contrario, thank you, AC, and I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud that you're doing what you're doing, and as well as you're doing it.
Gracias.
And I hope that we get to do it again sometime up the road.
157,000 subscribers, Joe.
Whoa. Hey, guys, buy a book. I like to sell 157,000 books.
Okay, wait.
My own words. Take advantage of the opportunities.
In the words of Little Joe on the AC Crew podcast, buy my book, buy my spices, come see my shows.
I love you, brother. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you again somewhere soon, I hope.
Ojalá.
And I thank you for this great memory lane walk and chatting with you.
You bet, man.
I do chatting with you. Vato, gracias por la perica. Nos estuvimos periqueando ahí un rato.
A huevo, güey. Joe, thanks again. Take care of yourself.
Cuídate. God bless you, brother.
Igualmente, mano.
We'll see you.
What'd I tell you? Wasn't that fun? Did you learn something? Lord knows I did. I didn't know that song was written by my dad. I didn't know that Ivan had a stroke. Good to hear you doing better, brother. I'll be waiting on my spices, man. Hook a brother up. I didn't know he was good friends with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. Of course, I knew Willie Nelson, but I didn't know the backstory. That was so interesting. Joe has accomplished so many goals throughout his life. Good for him. We can only be so lucky and blessed. Can't wait for the new music, Joe. Dios te bendiga, mano. So that's it. What a way to kick off season 12. I'd like to thank the voice girl, Jacqueline, and my sister, Abby Chavarria. Thank you so much. Al igual, Romeo, TejanoNation.net, and more importantly, you, the subscribers, the listeners. If you like the podcast, tell your friends. If your friends don't like it, find new friends. So just chill to the next episode of the AC Cruise Podcast. Much love, be safe, and thanks to our newest sponsor, Caps Van Truck and Rental. www.gocaps.com. You heard me, gocaps.com. Caps Van and Truck Rental celebrates its 50th anniversary. They've been serving customers in Texas and nationwide. Thanks to you, our loyal customers, and our dedicated staff for the many years of success. Your support through the years has helped us reach this incredible milestone. Caps has rented vans, personal, school, church, and other various organizations. Caps Van and Truck Rental. It's your van and truck rental company for commercial use. Our heavy-duty trucks are made to handle a variety of commercial industries. Heavy-duty pickup trucks, including 3/4 and 1-ton 4-wheel drive pickups. Heavy-duty pickups include 3/4 and 1-ton 4-wheel drive crew cab pickups, equipped for towing and much more. We also offer a select inventory of crew vans. Check them out today. GoCaps.com. GoCaps.com. 50 years and counting. That's Caps Van and Truck Rental.